morning, everybody. It's so wonderful to have you join us here today. What about if we start with telling you who we are? Should we start with that?
Yeah.
How about if I start?
You
Well, you know,
start.
I'm not quite ready yet. Hold on. I'm almost ready. Here we go.
Oh,
I am your fairy godmother.
that's the official start to the workshop.
You like that?
Okay.
Now you're going to introduce your partner. Who wants to go first?
We will.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Robin.
Look at the shock and awe on
Michelle,
her
did you know
face.
that? Isn't it wonderful to have a partner?
From the sounds of it.
We're so happy to have all of you here with us today. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with us.
We know there's lots of choices out there and things you could be doing, so we really feel honored that you are here and chose to spend time with us. So, great.
So let's talk about values.
Yes, let's do that. So there's some coaches in the room, they know what values are, but for everyone else's benefit, Ramona, why don't you?
Sure,
Start us
I'll
off.
talk about values. Values are the things that you have to have in your life, the things that are in your heart, the things that are so important that you have to have them. If you're going out in the desert, you can't live without them. The must-haves in your life, the things that really resonate with you. And it's interesting too because different things mean different things to different people. Like if you were going to say, like even with Kathy and I, let's maybe adventure.
Yeah, why don't we use that?
Let's do adventure. Adventure is something that's important to both of us. If you would say adventure to Kathy, she would say,
3 years ago, I was in Kabul, Afghanistan, working for the military as an editor. That's my idea of adventure. Now, some people might say that's their idea of insanity. I've heard that too, but it's my idea of adventure. So, Ramona, what would be your idea of adventure?
I have, lots of different things I'd like to do for adventure, but one of them, just the other day going down the river with Andrea, it was pretty amazing to me because I've done things before that were challenging. I've jumped out of trees and things, and still going down the river with Andrea, there was the knot in my stomach about she's talking class 3 rapids, and I'm going, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, I'm sure I want to do this. And then we get there with the guys, and it's even, they start talking about life-saving techniques, but there's different levels. There's different ways of looking at it. Things that are important to me are like magic, things that sparkle, things that are alive, colors, freedom, authenticity.
And some of mine are, I'm a lifelong learner, long before they gave that title to things. I'm always learning. That's what makes me happy, is expanding my brain. That's why I love to travel so much, is I get to a new country and it's like, oh wow, this is a whole different place. I've got to make sure that I don't offend anyone. In a Buddhist country, Michael Crichton in his book Travels talks about being taller than everyone else, and you're not supposed to be taller than people's heads. So he was walking around like this. Stuff like that, I love that. So the whole reason we're talking about values, when you start with a coach, we get you in touch with your values, because that's what will determine whether or not your life, in your terms, and really those are the only terms that count, whether your life is a success. And I remember when we were doing this at this Coaches Training Institute course, which we took, once I learned what my values were, I'd never heard the concept before. Once I knew what they were, I went, it was like this huge light bulb. Could you do that? This huge light bulb. Thank you. Went on. All of a sudden, my life made sense. I knew. If you looked at my life, you'd go, well, yeah, she held jobs for quite a long time, and then she went off and did something. She traveled from London to Kathmandu overland, then traveled through Southeast Asia, worked in the red light district in Sydney as a waitress, I might add.
We've had this opportunity to explore our values, what's important to us, and that's the starting point. That's where it all begins, is discovering what we're passionate about, what we want more of in our life. And obviously, if we have all of these beautiful values that speak to us, it sounds like that's, what else do we need, right? We've got the direction we want to go in. Why don't we just go there? It sounds like we've got a plan to move forward.
Why don't we, Ramona?
Gee, glad you asked.
We practiced that a few times.
Good job.
At 1 o'clock last night, okay.
Why don't we, Ramona?
Homeostasis?
What does that word mean?
Homeostasis is actually a physical force of nature that strives to keep everything right where it is
Just
right
the
now.
way it is.
Natural, normal, static, in the same place, balanced.
And it served us really well when we were cave women and cave men, because anything that was unusual or deviant or different could snuff us out, could be the end of our lives. So even though now we don't have to worry about bison, well, I'm in Colorado, maybe I do have to worry about bison.
There's
Yeah,
bison
here, okay, bad example. Dinosaurs, something like that. Even though
We
we don't
have
have
this here
to.
too.
What don't you have in Colorado?
We have it all here.
Oh my God, okay, what about, polar bears?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we see change, we want to stay exactly where we are, which is homeostasis.
What we know.
And given all the wonderful values that are in this room, and one of the questions we asked on the worksheet was, what's stopping you from adding those values into your life? That's important to know, that the automatic pilot is stay instead of change. So when we go on a diet, when we do different things, sometimes it's a bit challenging because our natural state is homeostasis.
Doing what we've always done before is the most comfortable place to be. And think about it, think about the change you've seen just in your lifetime. It's huge, isn't it? I mean,
Man on the moon,
man on the moon, computers in every home,
Mars, we've now gone to Mars.
global economy, I mean, there's a ton of things. We have not, evolution has never moved as fast as what it's moving right now. And it's very easy to be in that place and say, okay, this is what I know, this is what I'm comfortable with.
Batten down the hatches, I'm staying right where I am. I don't want any change in my life.
Or move out of that comfort zone and grow, expand, and find out what else is possible.
And whenever we make change, something we call in coaching called the saboteur is going to come up. And that's the voice that says,
Who are you? Who do you think you are? Why do you think you can do that? You're too old, you're too fat, you're too young, you're too smart, you're too dumb, you're too...
educated, you're too uneducated. Are you getting the idea you just can't win? I mean, if you're too fat and you're too thin, and you're too educated and you're too uneducated, oh my God, you can't win. And that's the voice that comes up when you make change.
What are some of your saboteurs?
Let's give some examples. On your worksheet, is that where you want to go?
Yeah. I'm going to go wherever you want to go. Do we want to talk about our saboteurs?
Sure.
Some of the ideas that we have?
Okay, I'll give you an example of one of my saboteurs. One of my saboteurs, and it's great to personify your saboteurs, so that voice that's in your head, so you can go, oh, this is one of mine. Oh, there's Mrs. Santini's nice little girl again, telling me this. Oh, hello, Mrs. Santini's. One of his bosses just reamed her out, and I'm the rebel child. That guy, I can't believe he said that to me. Oh boy, I've got some friends who work in the hood. I'm gonna do something to him. He cannot do that to me. No one talks to me that way. He's over. It's over for him. So how is Ramona feeling right now, given this tape?
Angry and pumped up.
Rage.
Defensive. Aggressive.
What's she probably gonna do, feeling all these things?
Let the air out of his tires.
Anger.
Slash and tire. Keys car.
Kia's car.
Piss him off.
Great ideas, I love this.
React instead of act.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Lash out.
Lash out, quit her job.
Does it serve me? Yeah, does it serve me?
No. So this is probably not something she wants to do and be running with next time she runs into her boss, right? Okay. So another thing that she could be doing, another person.
Sometimes my mind surprises me too with what comes up in my mind.
So another one is, if she was the adult, she could go, well, I guess Bob maybe does have a point. Maybe I didn't do as good a job as normal, but I had a lot of pressures. My child was at the hospital, my husband was traveling a lot.